In early 2023, Malaysia's Department of Statistics announced yet another extraordinary economic growth rate. The Malaysian economy had come out as amongst the fastest growing economies globally after posting a gross domestic product growth rate in the third quarter of 2022 of over 7%. On top of the high single-digit growth rate, also saw double-digit growth of over 14.2% in the previous quarter. The economy's strong growth trajectory was boosted by rising domestic demand and strong exporters, as stated by the central bank. The GDP growth further experienced another impressive 7% growth by the final financial quarter of 2022. In other words, the economy had seen impressive GDP growth quarter after quarter.
Export are the goods and services that are produced domestically but then sold to customers residing in other countries. Export lead to an inflow of funds to the seller country since export transactions involve selling domestic goods and services to foreign buyers. Next, we will show you the statistics of export of each sector, and I proceed with statistics of palm oil exportation.
For the year 2009, the exportation of rubber is Rm 4,460 million, 2010 Rm 9,210 million, 2011 Rm 13,481 million, 2012 Rm 7,864 million, 2013 Rm 718 million, 2014 Rm 4,574 million, 2015 Rm 4,025 million, 2016 Rm 3,614 million, 2017 Rm 4,726 million, 2018 Rm 3,774 million, 3,773 million. One of the reasons why the exportation of palm oil decreased is because an increasing in demand of other types of vegetable. On the other hand, EU, which is European Union, banned the use of palm oil because it stated that plantation of palm oil will cause deforestation of rainforests in Malaysia and Indonesia, so that the palm oil exportation in Malaysia decreased annually.
Next is wood and wood product exportation, involve the trading and shipment of various forms of wood and products derived from wood to other countries. It encompasses a wide range of goods, including raw timber, sawn lumber, plywood, furniture, flooring, paper, and wooden craft. The exportation of wood products can have a significant impact on both the exporting and importing countries. For exporting countries, it can be a valuable source of revenue, contributing to economic growth, job creation, and foreign exchange earnings. It can also promote the utilization of natural resources and the development of the domestic wood industry. Below is the table represents the exportation of wood products over the years. It consists of two columns, years and exportation of wood products, Rm billion. Looking at the table, in 2009, the exportation value of wood products was around 1.3 billion. From 2009 to 2011, the exportation value remained relatively low, with a slight increase from 2009 to 2010. In 2012, there was a significant increase in the exportation value, reaching approximately 7.9 billion. The trend continued to rise in 2013 and 2014, with exportation values of 19.3 billion and 20.5 billion respectively. In 2015, there was a slight decline to around 18 billion. The exportation value remained relatively stable from 2016 to 2018, fluctuating between 14.6 billion and 18.27 billion. There was a noticeable increase in 2017 with an exportation value of 23.21 billion. In 2019, the exportation value decreased to 13.2 billion, marking a decline compared to the previous years.
The highest exportation of the petroleum is on year 2009, that is in ringgit Malaysia 47,619 million. And the lowest of the exportation for the petroleum is on year 2016, that is 13,682 million in ringgit Malaysia. The next presenter is about the exportation of the liquefied natural gas from 2009 until 2019. From the data, we can saw that the highest exportation of the liquefied natural gas is on year 2014, that is in ringgit Malaysia 63,750 million. And the lowest is on 2009, that is 7,404 million in ringgit Malaysia.
Next, we will move to the import section. Imports are the goods and services that are purchased from the rest of the world by a country's residents. Rather than buying domestically produced items, imports lead to an outflow of funds from the country since import transactions involve payments to sellers residing in other countries. So, we will look at the statistic of each import sector.
Import in manufacturing sector grew 3.2% from 3.9% recorded in the previous quarter. The sector increased marginally 0.5% in terms of seasonally adjusted for a decline of 2.6% in the fourth quarter of 2022. This performance was influenced by electrical, electronic, and optical products, which increased by 3.8%. Q4 2022 9.2%, followed by transport equipment, other manufacturing and repairs at 7.7%, Q4 2022 4.9%, and vegetable and animal oils and fats and food processing at 7.2%, Q4 2022 4.4%. Conversely, wood products, furniture, paper products and printing decreased 4.0%, Q4 2022 negative 2.6% in this quarter. Import in mining sector moderate to 2.4% from 6.3% in the fourth quarter of 2022. In terms of seasonally adjusted, the sector shrunk 3.2%, Q4 2022, negative 2.4%. The moderation was attributed to all subsectors, especially crude oils and condensate, which was crude at 4.0%, Q4 2022 4.3%. Furthermore, natural gas recorded a marginal growth of 0.6% as compared to 7.3% in the previous quarter. Lastly, import in agriculture sector increased marginally by 0.9% as compared to 1.1% in the previous quarter. However, the sector descended 2.5% in terms of seasonally adjusted, Q4 2022 2.0%. The marginal growth was influenced by the oil palm subsector, which increased 3.4%, Q4 2022 9.6%, and other agriculture turned around at 2.6%, Q4 2022 negative 4.9%. Nevertheless, livestock, rubber, fishing and forestry and logging subsector contract 2.6%, 13.5%, 1.4% and 2.1% respectively.
Furthermore, the graph is showing Malaysian gross domestic product. By having GDP, we can see our economic growth. Just like the first quarter 2023, Malaysia economy expanded by 5.6% year-on-year. It's driven by further expansion of household spending, continued investment activity, and strong growth in employment as well as the recovery in tourism, which is the net export. Net export is one of important part to get the amount of GDP. Thus, net export is export minus import. The distinction between export and import is also referred to as the balance of payment.